has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, hour two of Coast to Coast on a midweek Where Do You Hear Wednesday with Carver High and Ferrall in New York. And it's still Phillies 3-2 in Toronto. Bryce Harper was beamed in the elbow, left the game. They're still up a run on the Jays north of the border. And Draper Boy still in the lead. He won the second set 7-5. First set 6-3. He's up 3-2 and serving in the third, looking for a straight set win over DeManure. And then later tonight, Sinner, the doper, against the bad guy, Medvedev, and Swiatek against your girl, the Buffalo Bills cheerleader, Pegula. That's later tonight, primetime at the U.S. Open. But we're talking football, and you got a little Brian Daboll for me.
Well, first of all, Sinner did nothing wrong, Scotty. He probably just had some bad meat, like Canelo that time. That was all.
Tacos.
They rubbed the wrong. Yeah, the tacos. The meat, that was tacos with Canelo. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. Yes, Brian Daboll and the Giants going into a very critical year number 3 of his reign there. Of course, Mike Kafka's been the OC for him the last few years as well. The big question around the Giants this entire offseason is, will Daboll be calling the plays this year, Scotty? He has not been willing to divulge that information to the media despite being asked 6,000 times. Well, yesterday he decided to change his mind on that.
The perception of the play calling is that, if you're going to do it, you say, I'm going to put it in my own hands. Like, this is what I did to get myself here. I want to be in charge of that. What do you make of that?
Yeah, like I said before, we're getting ready to play the Vikings. We've talked about that. We'll do everything we do to get ready to play.
You haven't really talked about it, though. You never said if you're definitely doing it or not, or you kind of...
Yeah, I'm doing
Look
it.
at him. He just said it.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. So that's
He's
all you need to
calling
know
the
right
plays.
there. He's calling the plays, and that's another step towards, if things go bad this year again, that's just something else that, you call, who are you firing now? You called the plays this year. Like, you can't, what's the next thing that you're going to do?
The last time, Mike, that he called plays, they went to the playoffs and they won. So
Yep.
I thought he was great in that Tennessee game, remember? And they went for it with Barkley and on fourth down. And listen, I think they're better off having him call the plays and being responsible. Look, when they hired him and Joe Shane from Buffalo, you would have thought they'd hired their saviors, right? These guys are the saviors of the Giants franchise. These two brilliant football minds. Well, Joe Shane's not going to be calling the plays from up in his luxury suite. So it's got to be Daboll as far as I'm concerned. They've already tried everything else and none of it worked.
None of it worked indeed. The Giants are home dogs coming up this week, Scotty. Not many of those on the slate this week, but the Giants are home dogs, getting 1.5. 41.5 is the total. Of course, Sam Darnold will be at the helm for Minnesota this week.
I mean, honestly, how can Daniel Jones and Neighbors and the Giants screw this up any worse? You're at Snoopy. You're at home. It's going to be 75 degrees and sunny. Perfect day. Home opener. You got to win the game. I am not afraid of Sam Darnold or the Vikings, for that matter. The only guy they got on that team is Jefferson. Fair enough. Can Darnold get him the ball? There's your game right there. Will they be able to connect Darnold and Jefferson? If they don't connect, they won't win.
Tell you, I kind of like the Giants on Sunday, Scotty. I think I'm in on the Giants. I'm on the Giants this week at home. For whatever, I think they're going to start strong. They've beaten that team too. I know it was a couple years ago, but I'm going to back Daniel Jones.
They're not that good. They're not like what are we talking about here? Like they're barely better than the Bears.
Right. No, it's very true. Very true. The Niners, of course, have gotten all their guys back in the mix. We told you yesterday, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, everybody's going to be good to go. Here is Trent Williams, Scotty. Of course, He just showed up there. He was a holdout, got his $80+ million restructured deal, etc. Here he is. He's very glad that all the negotiations are over with the 49er brass.
Are you adding up the fines ever in your head?
No. I try not to think about it. It's one of the things where you kind of know you're going to leverage, it's what, for lack of a better word, it's kind of war. Both sides going to lose a little blood, but, wave the white flag at the end. We both signed a little peace treaty and we good.
So a little peace treaty. That means he's open to doing it again down the road. A little peace treaty.
Listen, he understands. He said leverage. And you know what the leverage is that he's the best tackle in the NFL. When you're the best player at your position in the entire league, let alone your own team, you can do whatever you want in the summer, which includes laying on a raft in your pool naked with a cocktail in your hand and smoking a gigantic Cohiba or a doobie. Who wants to go to that stupid-ass training camp, which is a gigantic, colossal waste of time for everyone involved? When you're the best player in the league at your position, you can make a phone call and go, I'm not coming. I want more money. And if I don't get it, I'm not playing. And it works every time. When you're the best at what you do, you can force the hand of any team in sports. It does not matter what sport we're talking about here. If you're the best at what you do, you will get your money one way or another in today's professional sports. And this guy had them by the onions. They had no choice but to give him a raise. First of all, look at the size of him. I mean, the guy is literally bigger than the Empire State Building, and he can do whatever he wants, and no one's going to do anything about it. I saw that guy get in a fight with another team by himself, and the other team all backed up, and they all backed off and went the other direction, knowing that he came into the mix and was going to start shredding ass. He is a guy that people are afraid of. And when you have that much juice, you can do and eat and sleep with whoever you want.
Deebo Samuel did rework his contract as part of making all of this money work.
Who aren't they giving money to in the last week?
A lot of money. A lot of money they had to move around to make all of these deals work.
I'm surprised they're not paying for the guy that shot Pearsall's legal fees. They've been giving everybody money all week. See how nice they are?
The Niners are -4.5 on Monday night now against the Jets. 43.5 is the total for this game. So we did see that move quite a bit after both Ayuk and Williams, Scotty, were back in the fold before the game.
They just have to open up and spank the Jets on national television on Monday Night Football, and the gang green are going to fly out to California and do what? Lay an egg is what they're going to do. The Niners are going to beat them.
I think so too. I think the Niners are going to beat them as well. I do going to give you this though. I got a lot of numbers for you today about Week 1. I got lots of different trends and numbers and lots of stuff to make you think about this week. Here's one for this game. Since 2000, this is a long time, 25 years almost, the loser of the Super Bowl, which the 49ers are, 5-19 ATS in week number 1 the following season. 5-19 against the number as they have the quote-unquote Super Bowl hangover to start the year.
Yeah, first of all, I'll say this. I don't care. I just don't care about. I could sit here all day and dig up another 400 trends that'll screw with your brain and make you not make a bet. You either have the stones to lay the money on who you're betting on, or you don't. All of these trends and numbers and stats and information. There is so much information. And we've done it on this show a million times. I mean, last year we'd spend Thursdays. I went through more information than I've had my entire life going to school.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets and when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Carver High. It's unbelievable. So the Jets made a move as well, right? They inked Carter to a deal.
Yes, their cornerback Michael Carter, 3-year extension, up to $33 million. So more defensive back money being held out today. He's very good slot corner for the Jets, who have hey, we've heard it from Adam and everyone else. Best defense in the league, right? Best defense in the league, the Jets. So they just needed a quarterback. That's all they needed.
Listen,
so they're going to start paying all those guys.
I have been hearing this for literally 25 years. I've lived in New York City, and I've been hearing that the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl every year, every single year. In all of July, August, and September, all I hear about is the Jets have the greatest defense on earth. And on paper, this is the greatest team on earth. And then they always lay an egg. I mean, it's always, and I mean in bold capital letters, ALWAYS, all bold capital letters. You know the guy that texts you in bold letters? You're like, what's wrong with this guy? He's all mad at me. He's texting in bold. That's the Jets, always texting in bold, how big and tough they are. They're the greatest team on earth. Greatest team on paper, paper champions, and then they turn into chumps. They're like Cinderella. I mean, it's honestly, I can't wait for the inevitable crash and burn. And it's always something. Last year it was his Achilles. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about, Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not going to sit here and do this Aaron Rodgers stuff every week. Like, what is Aaron saying this week on Pat's show? And what is Aaron thinking? Is Aaron going on a dark retreat? Is Aaron eating mushrooms? Like, I don't give a crap about that nonsense every single day, every week. I mean, this guy, to me, he's old, and I can't wait to see him go down the other side of the mountain. He still thinks he's winning Super Bowls. It's been so long since he won a Super Bowl. He's fully gray now. Like, I mean, he's touch of gray. He's the Grateful Dead. Honestly. He looks like Bob Weir. He's so old.
More injury stuff for you from around the league from today, at least stuff that's trickled out. Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts dealing with a hamstring injury. He was limited at practice
Good.
today. Raheem Morris didn't seem too upset
Good.
about it. So we'll see what happens with Kyle.
Here's
Yeah,
another guy. Here's another guy that they have ruined in Atlanta. Here's a guy, one of the best, most talented players ever that they ever got their hands on in the draft, and then they don't give him the ball. They don't throw him the ball. So they have all these guys. He's one of them for sure, right? He's like the main one. And then London, and I mean, they have all these great players and how about their running back, Bijan Mustard? They don't even give him the ball. I mean, it is just unbelievable watching that franchise screw everything up. I mean, the only thing they've done right ever is that velour sport coat that Arthur Blank wears around at the Super Bowl. Now, that is just fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking of getting a velour sport coat this year, Carver High. And you're a big sport coat guy. You got some of the best blazers ever. What do you think, Carver High? We need to get you I'm thinking we need to get you because you got the green Luck of the Irishman. I'm thinking you need a green velour leprechaun blazer.
I would absolutely wear it if it was given to me. I would wear it in a heartbeat. I love stuff like that.
I know you would.
Jahmyr Gibbs says he's 98 to 100% ready to go for week 1 for the Lions after, of course, hurting his hamstring in training camp a couple of weeks ago. So everybody thought that was going to be a long-term thing. He says he's about 100%, and he's ready to go Sunday night for the Rams and the Lions. More numbers for you, Scotty. Jared Goff, week number 1, 7-0 against the spread in his career. Your boy loves week number 1, if you remember, even last year on the opening Thursday night game in Kansas City against the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, how can you buck that trend? He never loses openers, 7-0, and he gets it done and covers. So I guess the buys the Lions at Ford Field on whatever it is, Sunday. When is the game? Is it a day game?
That's the
game?
Sunday night game. That
Sunday
is the
night.
primetime game on Sunday night. Rematch of that playoff game from a year ago. Where the Rams were in Detroit against the Lions. So they'll be having that again. The Bills named Damar Hamlin their starter at safety. So unbelievable story, Scotty. Of course, year and a half removed from collapsing on that field in Cincinnati. He will now be a starter on the Bills defense this coming week. And this has nothing to do with Damar. I don't think that's a great thing because I just don't think he's that good, Scotty. So that makes me a little nervous.
It is
honestly,
unbelievable to me that this guy, all right, first of all, he died.
Great story.
Great story. He died, and then he came back from the dead like Jesus. And then like everybody spent a year feeling sorry for him, which I guess he had coming. And then I had open heart surgery, and everybody felt sorry for me for about a day or two. And then they're like, we really don't like you. It's amazing to me that after his feel sorry for you window closed, that they actually gave him a starting job again. Because I thought like last year when we realized he didn't matter anymore in the NFL, we were done with Damar Hamlin. I almost fell over when I saw he was still on the Bills. And then I tripped and fell and chipped a tooth when I saw he was starting. He's now starting. I thought so at the very least, we're not supposed to make feel sorry for him anymore, are we? We don't have to feel sorry for him anymore and do the whole because that was like a year and a half long to feel sorry for you window. I didn't get any kind of window like that. We never liked you. We wish you would have died.
Listen, I'm all for good stories as well. You know that. But this is pain day on Sunday, okay? There's no more feel-good stories. If I watch Marvin Harrison Jr. Run over you over the top for a touchdown on Sunday, that's a no-go for me. So that's great that you're out there. Now you got to perform. That's how it goes. If you're going to be a starting safety, Buffalo Bills, him and Rapp, Hyde and Poyer are gone. You got to show up with your lunch pail and play. That's it, baby. I don't want to hear about
Hyde and Poyer are gone. You said the magic words. They must be so desperate, and they are so thin, the Buffalo Bills, that's who they're starting now, and they let the money guys go. I don't think the Bills are going to be as good as everybody thinks they are.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
Big game tonight for the Long Island Bulldogs. As Ray Lewis and her 13 teammates hit the field for their first game that counts, striving for yet another back-to-back championship.
We have 14 kids on the team. I mean, 14 kids. That's a lot to juggle. 14 second and third graders. Not easy to try to make everybody happy tonight with the lineup card. But we are going to do whatever we can out there as we're taking on the Bruins tonight. So bad news for the Bruins.
I hate
Bulldogs
that team.
and Bruins getting involved. You talked about this with Gabe already a little bit earlier, but I did see the Stephon Diggs stuff about he wasn't in great mental space, and it was, I wanted out, or nobody threw me out in anywhere I've been, and he had a lot of things to say, Scotty. Here's what I'll say about it. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of listening to this dude. Just go catch footballs in Houston. Go and try to make them better.
You're fed up with him. You've had enough of him because when he was in Buffalo, he was a cancer. I don't care what anybody says. He constantly threw temper tantrums and blamed people, finger pointing, yelling, screaming on the sideline at his quarterback, at his coaches. I think he's just an absolute top shelf narcissist, pain in the ass. And I think he's going to go down to Houston and do the exact same thing when he doesn't get targeted enough. He wants the ball on every single pass thrown to him and no one else. And that's what his problem is. He doesn't believe in anyone else. He's not a teammate. He's a me guy. He's all about I, me. Give me the ball. And is there anything worse on a team than a guy that doesn't want to be a real teammate?
Well, look, I'll always say this about Diggs, and at the end, that is absolutely what it became. I cannot deny when he came to Buffalo and those first few years, and he was awesome, and he absolutely made Josh Allen a better quarterback, and he made him better. And I think the trade worked from that aspect, Scotty, but you're right. It always runs its course with him, and it did, and it was time to move on. Thankful for what he did, but I'm tired of it now. It's just we got to move on from it. I'm tired of stories,
I think people
too.
they're fed up with it as well, and it's not going to continue. I do not believe
that once the season starts.
I don't think that Houston's coaching staff and Ryan's is going to put up with that. I think at some point they're going to be like, listen, dude, I mean, those days are over. The days of you screaming and yelling at people and pointing fingers on the sideline and having temper tantrums. Another guy that was that way, in my opinion, was Beckham. I thought the entire time that Beckham played with the New York Giants, he was a cancer and a distraction and a problem and a team wrecker. And I think that's what Diggs became in Buffalo, a team wrecker.
No doubt. Of course, the Texans, his new team, will play the Colts on Sunday to kick off their season. I told you I got lots of numbers today. Colts against the spread in week number 1 since 2008. 114-1 ATS. I think you sent me this one too last night after I saw it. 114-1 the Colts in week number 1.
Well, first of all, I thought Steichen did a really good job with that team last year, and I thought Minshew did as well. So, Minshew's gone. Richardson's back. We don't know if that, fruit is juicy or if it's rotten. We don't know if it's, if the lime, you cut it open, if it's got red marks in it. I'm telling you, this guy, we have no clue what he's going to be after his problems and his shoulder and everything else. And I just don't think they're that good of a football team. And I think D'Amico's got himself a loaded gun. I think the Texans are good. They proved it last year. They just seem like a team that's, not just good, but they're on the up. They're like, they're getting better. I mean, last year was the very beginning, the essence of the beginning of the fruits of their labor. All of their drafting, all of their trades, all of their movement has been dedicated toward this moment, and they've already shown that they can win. Now they have to do it again and prove that it's real. I think they're better than the Colts, hands down. They go in there and win.
I think they are too. And look, Anthony Richardson got hurt last year, didn't finish the season. I thought he looked a little spotty. This guy, they played him a lot in the preseason. He threw some bad picks on that awful pick 6 against the Bengals. I think he's an exciting player, but we got a lot more to see from Anthony Richardson before we start putting the Colts.
I'll give him this. He's a great athlete, and that's about it.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready? ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
Of course, Carver High is the final judge and jury for all decisions on C2C. And I always throw things his way to see if the gauntlet will be dropped. There is no way, I believe, the Heineken commercial with the hot blonde up on the rooftop with her cooler empty and she can't find a Heine Silver that she's ever going to somehow make it through the night without her beer. I do not believe chicks drink beer. A rare day it is that I've seen a chick have a beer. Really like a desperate, I need a beer right now kind of chick. I've never seen that. They drink wine and they can't handle their wine. I just wanted to say that. Most of the chicks I know that drink wine, it takes about 4 glasses and they're drunk. And then they just don't drink beer. They drink these claws and these surf riders and all these silly little tequila concoctions.
Seltzers and the Surfside.
Chicks don't drink beer.
Some do.
No, they
Some
don't.
do.
Don't, Carver High.
Some do. Maybe not as many as in that commercial, but some do.
Redneck chicks at the Grove in Oxford drink beer. The ones that aren't getting any. The ones that have the ones that aren't hot, the ones with, giant keisters, they drink beer. Now, fair enough. You can quote me all you want on that one, too, because the hot girls down there at Ole Miss, believe me, they're not drinking beer. But the fat ones are, and God bless fat chicks that want to drink beer. I'm a big fan. Like, there are no hot chicks on a rooftop in New York City. I have never seen a chick. I live in New York City. I have never seen a chick drink a beer in New York City in my life. Martinis, wine, that's another story. Beer, it's not happening. I've never seen in my life a chick once drink a Guinness. Not once. Drink a dark Guinness beer. That to them is like 7 meals a Guinness that think they're going to get fat. You're the judge and jury. Make a decision for Christ's sakes here.
I've never seen that in New York or in the States. You go to Dublin, and they all drink it. So in Dublin they drink it.
Well, and they don't have teeth either, so God bless them.
The Chargers, of course, let me finish off the rest of this NFL for you. The Chargers, of course, have a new coach. You sent me that big article about Jim Harbaugh and changing the culture for the Chargers. I know you're very excited. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I guess it's possible. He's won everywhere he's been, Scotty. He will eventually turn them around.
Listen, I just, I am not, as you know, I always respected Al Davis. He's a Titan, my favorite all time. But I hate the Raiders, and I always have. And there's nothing I enjoy more than watching them lose. And I want to see Jim Harbaugh beat them in his opener in Lipstick City at SoFi. And that's just all there is to it. Every year, and I got my buddies that do Raiders pre and post, and they host every Raiders show in Vegas. The Raiders this, Raiders that, the Raiders, the vaunted Raiders, the Raiders. And then the Raiders suck just every year. And I mean, they're like, oh, this guy won 3 or 4 games. We'll give him the head coaching job. He's never coached before. We'll give him the job. Remember when they won all those games and they wouldn't give the interim coach the job, but they gave this guy the job? They stink. And I love watching them lose. They're going to lose again this week.
Yeah, and Jim Harbaugh is on my list that I have for you. The best active coaches against the spread in week number 1. Remember, Jim's been in the NFL before, and he's 4-0 against the number in week number 1. Now, his brother's 12-4 against the number in week number 1. McVay is 6-1. Campbell and McDaniel both also undefeated against the spread in week 1. So there you go. That's a pro Jim Harbaugh.
I actually think, look at that picture again. You could actually be fooled into believing that picture is Marty Schottenheimer and not Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
You could actually pull that off, I think, right there.
I think you could, believe it or not, if we did that. Now,
All
of
the
course,
Harbaughs are winning this week, including their old man. He might be involved in some kind of bocce ball or pickleball, maybe some shuffleboard. Something might be going on with the senior. They all win. The Harbaugh family, nothing but winners.
Nothing but winners. Of course, if I give you the best coaches in week number 1, I have to give you the worst as well to go along with it. Mike Tomlin, 8-9. Well, when you coach 17 years in the league, you're eventually going to get a couple of losses. Tomlin, 8-9 against the spread. Sean Payton, 7-9. Zach Taylor, Kyle Shanahan. Dan Quinn, 1-5 from back in his days in Atlanta.
You would be surprised to realize, I will bet my life, that most coaches, I've said this to you before, at the end of the day, they'll coach for 5 years and they'll be lucky if they break 500. They'll be lucky if they have a winning record in 5 years in the NFL, because the NFL is all about parity. It's all about everybody's on a level playing field, and every year somebody can win and do well. And the reality of it, it's only the Chiefs do well in the NFL, no one else. And I already told you what I thought of Tomlin. Tomlin wins every game that doesn't matter. So, he's 8-9. I'm surprised. He wins games that don't matter. Opening day matters. He doesn't win those. He doesn't win playoff games. Let's face facts. I mean, there are people, and I like him. Don't get me wrong. Don't be misconstruing what I'm saying. He's the perfect coach for the Rooneys. I mean, their father, their grandfather, that's how they ran the Steelers. They've had 4 coaches. They don't want a change. They don't listen to the media, and they really don't listen to fans. They just pretend like they do. What they want from you is to raise the ticket prices every year and to sell you merchandise and liquor and food and booze and everything else at the games and make money. They're a lot like the Steinbrenners in that we're satisfied if we can just make the playoffs because we'll make so much money. I already got an email from the Steelers yesterday. Yesterday I got an email. They want to force me to buy playoff tickets, and they haven't even played a game yet. And they're like, you opt in, and then once you opt in, you cannot opt out. You have to buy them no matter what. Like, they're forcing me to buy playoff tickets. And when do the Steelers play home playoff games anymore? When hell freezes over is when they play at home in the playoffs.
It really is one of the ultimate scams that these teams run. The Steelers aren't the only ones who do it. I have friends, of course, that have Islander tickets, Giant tickets, and they do the same thing. They make you buy the playoff tickets before the season even starts. And then they say to you when they don't make it, well, we're just going to put that towards your deposit for next year. So that way they keep you. They keep you. The money's already there. And then at the end of the year, if you're even thinking or considering not renewing, like, oh, they've already got my, X amount that I gave for those playoff tickets. I might as well just go the whole way now and stick around. And
I told you, I'm going to that game, right? I'm going to their home opener in 3 weeks against Jim Harbaugh. So I'm flying in there. I'm staying there. I'm going to the game. It is happening. I will say to you that I have had the conversation even with myself and others as to why I keep these tickets. I've had them for, 60 years in my family, and I rue the day I get rid of them because you'll never get them again. You'll never have season tickets again. There's a waiting list until the apocalypse to get Steeler tickets, season tickets, right? But the thing is, my problem is I don't live there. And my second problem is, why would I ever retire there, to be honest with you? I mean, it is another one of these, I was going to drop a bomb right there. It is a completely shacky place to live with the weather. It's like living in Buffalo. It's like living in Cleveland, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. I mean, it really is miserable. I mean, you think it's bad here, Carver High. It's way worse there. Snow belt, snow, lake effect, snow. Buffalo's way worse than New York City. Syracuse, way worse. Pittsburgh, way worse. Cleveland, way worse. Like, why do I want to retire somewhere where it snows all winter for 8 months, and then in the summer it's hotter than Haiti and humid? And then what? So I can have Steeler tickets? I have had the thought cross my mind, believe me, to sell those things. Like, it's like every time I go, I drop $5,000 just to go to a football game. I mean, every time I fly out there and go to a game, I mow through money like I was at a strip club. I mean, it's unbelievable.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's like it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Coach James Young is our basketball aficionado and analyst on SportsGrid and on C2C, and that's my guy right there. Don't forget you can catch Betting Above the Rim. His podcast is second to none for hoop lovers, and I'm one of them. So, Coach, I am going back into the Lifetime League, the U-Hoops that Mafia and I were in for years. And remember, the Ferrall Ballers, 12-time champions. I was on 11 of those championships. After I got thrown out of the league for fist fighting, I missed the last championship, but that guy had it coming. I've stood by that. I was in my parole meeting the other day getting my membership back, and I said to the guy, I said, they're going to put me on his team, is what I've been told, the guy that I beat up. They're going to put me on the same team with him so that we can become friends. That's the way they want it to go. And I said, all right, I have no problem with that, but I could still slew foot him at a practice or something, couldn't I? Anyway, I'm playing league ball again. And as you know, Coach, up on the walls, the banners fly. It's like the Boston Celtics and Lakers. There's 11 Ferrall Baller banners. And I'm going back tonight to watch my first playoff game in 2 years since I went to Leavenworth and lifetime prison. I have been released and I have passed the parole board and I've got my membership back. And now I got to find my Kevin Love number 42 jersey that Mafia knows I wear. Mafia, part of 4 championships, I believe. And then he quit. He got sick of paying the freight and he wanted more burn. He wanted a new contract. But we decided he wasn't as good as Hakeem Olajuwon and we let him go play for Greece, Olympiacos.
Ooh, hey, listen. It's ball season. Ferrall is fired up. I'm fired up too. I'm a big fan of the Ferrall Ballers, folks. For $49.99, you go to FerrallOnTheBench.com. You can buy a autographed Kevin Love, Scotty Ferrall, number 42 jersey.
So let's talk about the Indiana Fever, since they're better than the Colts.
Oh yeah, they're much better than the Colts, folks. They are hotter than fish grease right now. They have moved up to 6th place right now in the WNBA standings. Ferrall, you could argue that right now they're playing better basketball than anyone else. I mean, if you look at the fact of what they've done coming out of the Olympic break. I think they're, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're 5-1 or 6-1 against the spread. The only game they lost was a 90-80 loss at Minnesota, which is nothing to be ashamed of here. And they're playing great ball. And I know. First things first, I'm not Cheryl Swoops, whatever her last name is. I'm not going to be a hater because I know how good this young lady, Caitlin Clark, is. But I want to stop for a second and talk about Kelsey Mitchell, who is not getting enough love for how she's playing. Scotty, she has scored 21 or more points in every game since the Olympic break, including 36 points in the last game.
Whoa.
Now, people need to realize that this girl, Kelsey Mitchell, is an absolute baller. She scored at least 17.8 points per game in every season since 2018 or 2019. So they have a number 2 scorer and someone that could play with Caitlin Clark, with Aaliyah Boston, who's a double-double machine, with Melissa Smith. Take away the top 4 of the Liberty, right? Take away the top 4 of the Vegas Aces. Like, you got to say, maybe Connecticut Sun. You got to say the 4th or the 5th, top 5 best top 4 players are Indiana. And if you take away their start, I think they're a 1-8 start the year. Ferrall, they have the 3rd or 4th best record in the WNBA since then. They are playing that well.
Well, listen, that's all fantastic. So tonight they school Los Angeles. I'm assuming you're taking the Fever in Naptown. But I want to talk to you about something else entirely. As you know, I like to throw you massive put-back tomahawk dunks in your face. I like to throw curveballs at you. No look, Magic Johnson, dimes. White chocolate type elbow passes. I watched the other day for the second time. Now, the first time I watched it, I wasn't friends and I didn't know at all personally Andre Barrett, right, from the Bronx. And he obviously played at Seton Hall, Mafia's alma mater, and he played in the NBA for 7 teams at least. He's heavily involved with the G League, and he's a badass. But I watched Point Gods the other day. And New York's, Point Gods. Did you ever see that, Doc? Like, this is the greatest thing on point guards I've ever seen in my life. And I just wanted to go over some of them. I'm friends with Kenny, crossover king, Malloy Anderson. Your boy, Kenny Anderson, was one of the greatest New York City hoopers ever. And I got to be good friends with him because I'm good friends with Bobby Cremins. And that's how I got involved with basketball at that level with, like, Kenny. Kenny's a guy that's done my show 1,000,000 times. And then, obviously, some of my favorites, God, Sham God. I play with a guy now, RJ. I call him Sham God. He's just like him with the handle and lightning fast going to the turn. Pearl, Washington, Kenny the Jet, Mark Action Jackson, Starbury, Rod Strickland, Smush Parker, Tiny Archibald, Kareem Reed, and skip to my Lou, Rafer Alston. Are you kidding me, Coach?
Well, that's when New York was king of basketball and king of the point guards. I mean, if you go back and look at Tiny Archibald, the great little guard, right, and you get going to the 80s with Pearl at Syracuse, with Mark Jackson at St. John's, obviously Kenny the Jet Smith going down to UNC and playing with those guys, and then you get into the 90s. I had the unfortunate of playing against Stephon Marbury in AAU. Yikes, that was tough. By the way, shout out to my boy Jeff Billett, the former star of Rutgers, one of my good friends. He put it on him as well, so I got to give him props. But seeing all these guys, Kenny Jackson, Kenny Anderson, Rod Strickland, to me, out of the ones that everybody wants to remember, there's still the favorite scene, that Step Back J by Kemba Walker when they said, "Party at Kemba's." Still one of the greatest one-lines in the history of college basketball.
I love watching that stuff. I watched Kobe's Muse and Point Gods back-to-back on Sunday. It was better than sex.
I'm a point guard.
I mean,
I'm a
you're
point guard,
Coach, and you're great coaching, Coach.
buy or sell. Anthony Richardson will be a top 7 fantasy quarterback this season. We're keeping this realistic here. We know that nobody would think that he'll be in the top 3, probably not even the top 5. How about top 7, George? Buy or sell?
If he stays healthy, top 5 is not out of question here at all. He's a running quarterback. We know how valuable they can be. My worry is going to be what I mentioned when we talked about the Indianapolis Colts. Boy, man, if Pittman were to go down, there's not a lot to throw. He'll be running for his life half the time there. I like Richardson a lot. Small sample size of what we saw of what he's going to be. I played the 5 games last year before the injury here. So, or a longer season, we'll see if he gets to catch up to him, what he can do. He's going to have to prove he can throw the ball. He'll be down the field here. I'm going to buy this. All right, I want to buy on Anthony Richardson. I want him to be that guy because I want to see the excitement that he can bring. I think smart money might say go the other way because there's so many quarterbacks in that tier that hey, he can have a good year and still not finish top 7. That being said, I think he will show just like he did last year. He's going to be dynamic. I'm buying top 7.
Yeah, reminds me so much of Cam Newton in the early days too. I'm going to sell on this. I think it's too high. I think most leagues take away points for interceptions. If that's the case, I think his numbers are going to be 20-something touchdowns, 15, 16-something interceptions. That's going to negate some stuff. Yes, he will run. Can he play an entire season? Still very questionable for me. I have him as the 9th best fantasy quarterback at the end of the season, just outside the top 7. So I'm going to go sell on that.
Yeah, I always tell the story that Andre Barrett was so good as a point guard that he wouldn't say hi to me for a year. I played with him like 4 days a week, every week for a year, for 52 weeks, and the guy never said hi to me once. I'd walk in to the gym, and he's always in the same place, sitting in the corner. And right when I walk in the door and I say, Dre Day, and he looked at me like this every day for a year, he went. He never said hi to me once. And then if I even shot the ball ever, I was going to Leavenworth. My man was like, whatever you do, don't come near me, don't set a screen, and don't shoot. Whatever you do. Meanwhile, I can shoot. And he's like, we're not having some crust. Whenever I would score, he would be, if I was on his team or I wasn't on his team, he'd be like, what is happening? This can't be happening. That this old white guy is scoring. What is happening? Who's guarding him? What is happening here? Because he's so good that he literally wouldn't say hi to me for a year. I told him that too. I told my audience that you wouldn't say hi to me for a year. And now it's 2 years later, and he's actually nice to me. And he'll feed me on a no-look cut pass for a bucket. He'll actually give me the ball now, which is a miracle because I suck at the end of the day compared to him.
Well, listen, at least you got other people that give you the rock. Sometimes you get the rock down low. Here
I'm playing more than ever, Carver High. Maybe I'll finally lose my gut.
I know. Still 3-2, by the way, Phillies and Blue Jays. I know that it seemed like the over was going to scream over after 2 innings, but it has become a pitcher's duel since then, as they are now in the 7th in Toronto, still 3-2. So we'll see if we can find some more runs there. How about some college football now? I know you're going to talk to Lou Bender coming up here at the top of the hour. We love on Coast to Coast when college coaches get mad. We played Brian Kelly yesterday, slamming his fist on the table after the loss to USC. Well, we've got another one today. This time, it is Dabo Swinney from Clemson, as he is hearing a lot of pressure. Well, actually, he says he's not hearing it, Scotty. Of course, everybody says, Dabo, they're not as good anymore. Lost his fastball. He doesn't use the transfer portal. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. Here's Dabo, Scotty, saying that he doesn't listen to all the critics.
Y'all gonna write crap. Y'all gonna write terrible stuff. And when we do great, y'all gonna write great stuff. That's okay. Everybody's got a job to do. It's okay. That's okay. I don't take it personal. I don't read it or listen to it. That doesn't affect me. I love my job. I love what I do. I love all of it. And y'all can't change that. Nothing you can write, nothing you can say can change that. I love what I do. I love these kids. I love my purpose in life. And my life is on a foundation that doesn't change. It just doesn't.
Listen, I don't believe for 1 minute that he doesn't hear it and see it and read it and listen to it. You would literally have to be kidding me to believe that when you lose, when all you do is win for a decade and you win 12 games every year and you're winning national championships, and then you finally start winning 9 games and not double digits, and then you lose and get your ass beat by Georgia in your opener, and then you're going to tell me that he gets in his car and listens to Beethoven. I'm just not buying that. I guarantee he plops on the sports radio shows and hears them talking bad about him. I guarantee it. No one on earth can help but be vain enough to listen to people's critiques of them and their work. Name a person that does this for a living that's on TV, radio, or a coach or a performer or an actor that doesn't want to see the reviews of their work or the ratings or anything else. Everyone thinks they're so wonderful. And I do not believe for 1 minute that he isn't affected at all by the heat he's under. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I'll tell you what, there's no one on earth that wouldn't be affected by it and that wouldn't listen. And you know, everyone's shredding him every day. And he acts like he's what? Skip to my Lou going down the street, blowing and chewing bubble gum and blowing bubbles. Like, I'm not buying that.
All the guys who always say that, they listen. They hear it all because that's why they're so mad. They all get up there and say, I don't listen to the critics. They all listen. I don't read any of your articles. Yeah, but you know, what are you so upset about? That you'd be walking into that press conference every week having no idea what's going on. You wouldn't know that people are saying bad things about you.
Yeah,
they all lie, Scotty. That's part of being a college coach. You got to be able to lie.
I guarantee you he sits at home at night late and reads all of it.
He does. He absolutely does. There you go. Dabo Swinney getting involved here. Is Clemson off to a rough start after getting blasted by Georgia?
They're going to be fine in the ACC. Don't schedule games against Georgia.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The leftover language would be the million shy of what Jefferson makes Jefferson a better player. If you want to believe that, I'm not sure I buy that he's that much better than CeeDee Lamb.
Tony Pollard's gone. He's now with the Titans. I was with the Titans a couple weeks ago. He'll be their starting running back there. They're going a different direction in Dallas, but it's all about CeeDee Lamb right now, the first of the other deals that they have to get done.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The only streaming sports betting network. Tips, info, and insights to up your IQ. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
New to the Live Golf Plus app. Watch Live Golf any way you want it. Follow any group. Replay any shot. Anytime, anywhere. Any questions? Watch Live Golf live and on demand.